I have a bug catcher friend that recently started traveling to famous forests around the world, and he noticed something strange very quickly. The Pokemon aren't all that different in the similar regions he's visited. Whether it's the Viridian Forest in Kanto, the Petalburg Woods in Hoenn, or the Pinwheel Forest in Unova, he often sees the same kinds of small insects, birds, and other small little rodent type Pokemon wherever he goes. He recently asked me about this, and I explained that he's seeing one of the most basic concepts in ecology, the niche. So the basic way to define a niche is how a species fits into the local environment. That includes what foods it eats, where it lives, how it affects the space it lives in, and other traits about its lifestyle. All these things combine to give an animal its special place in its forest, pond, cave, or whatever kind of environment it lives in. I tend to think of niches as job descriptions because they tell you what an animal does for a living to survive. For example, an animal might be a herbivore eating nuts or leaves on the forest floor, or maybe it's a small carnivore that fishes from the riverbank. Or maybe your Pokemon is a large cave predator that eats other burrowing animals that live in its caves. And because many habitats are similar in environments around the world, we see the same niches available for animals to live in. These animals will then have a lot of the same general adaptations to go after similar foods and move through the environment. For Weedle, Venipede, and Wurmple, they have poisonous barbs that help deter predators from trying to eat them while they're munching on leaves. For Pidgeotto and Pidove, they're small birds that are able to zip through the trees of the forest. And as for our small mammals, they're able to eat a wide range of foods on the forest floor. But sometimes we find animals that seem to fill the same niche living in the same areas. In Viridian Forest, Caterpie and Weedle eat a lot of the same kinds of plants. And when you look at larger insects like Butterfree and Venomoth, they're pollinating the same flowers and potentially competing for nectar. So why doesn't one species win out over the other in these kind of situations? This is often because they have behaviors and adaptations that may not be obvious, but that allow them to coexist peacefully. This is called niche partitioning, competing species using the environment in different ways. Caterpie doesn't have Weedle's stinger, and instead relies on its green colors to hide in the leafiest bushes and trees. This keeps it out of Weedle's way near the edges of that same tree or bush. Butterfree and Venomoth are active at different times, with Butterfree pollinating flowers during the day and Venomoth coming out at night, so they never have to actually fight over flower nectar. And while Pidgeot and Pharaoh share a niche as birds of prey, Pharaoh is more specialized for catching fish and small bug-type Pokemon hiding underground. This allows them to have different diets when they live near each other, reducing competition. There can still be overlap between similar species near the edge of their niches though. This can lead to both individual battles over territory and the larger species-wide rivalries that we often see in our Pokedexes. So the next time you're out in the wild, take the time to observe some wild Pokemon going about their day. Maybe you can figure out what niche it's filling in the environment before you try to catch it.